I'm going to show you the right way to create this style of main menu for your Roblox game in just 4 steps. We're going to make the camera move smoothly with the mouse and add a little effect to the title buttons from my previous tutorial, which I'll link here, since we'll be reusing a bit of code today. Without further ado,
let's do this.
Let's start by creating the menu UI. To do this, we'll create a screen UI and, within it, the frame that will hold the buttons. I'm going to position this on the left side of the screen and resize it using scale, very important. Then I'm going to create a UI list layout and a button. Once the button is positioned, we'll configure the UI list layout by setting both horizontal and vertical alignment to center and changing the vertical spacing to space around. Now we're going to duplicate the button several times, resize the frame a bit, and adjust the button sizes again until they look right. Once we have the size we were looking for, let's style the buttons. Since this tutorial isn't focused on the menu's UI, I'm going to keep it a bit plain, but you can use whatever colors and shapes you want for the UI. If you want me to make a tutorial on how to create your own custom buttons and things like that, just let me know in the comments. Once we have the buttons, we're going to add a UI aspect ratio component to the frame and adjust it. And finally, we're going to add the text to the buttons. By the way, don't forget to name the buttons. First step completed, now let's add a little animation to the buttons. To do that, I'm going to go to my latest video, the one on modern UIs, and swipe this code from here. Anyway, everything I show you in the video ends up in the description. Let's change a few things in the script. We need to change this to the current button size. And we're going to invert these numbers, since we want the buttons to stretch or shrink a bit more along the x-axis. Our buttons are on the left, after all, although we could leave it as it was and nothing would happen. Now we're going to remove things we don't need, like this here, this other one here, this down here, and these parameters. Okay, let's test it. Alright, it looks great, although I'd like the buttons to scale from their left edge, not from the center. You do it by changing the horizontal alignment and setting it to the left. Now we're talking. Step 2 completed. For the next step, we're going to need a backdrop for the menu and a spot to place the camera. Since I don't have anything prepared, I'm going to quickly make one now. See you in a bit. Okay, it's done. I've made a car with the classic Roblox studs style. If you didn't know how to do this, it's pretty simple. As long as the material is plastic, just set material variant to studs and the texture will be applied. Okay, getting back to the topic, I've made this pretty cool desert scene and put a part here, which is where the camera will be. And I've also created the part that will serve as the scene's camera in replicated storage. The last step is the most complicated, especially to understand. But anyway, I'll try to explain the code's logic so that if you use it, you'll at least understand it. Let's create another local script here and start by naming the necessary variables. The player and services, the current camera, and the camera part. Now, in 2 seconds we're going to place the camera in the workspace, specifically at the camera point's position. And we're going to change the camera subject and the camera type. Continuing with the variables, let's set the move factor, which will be the camera's movement sensitivity, previous mouse X and previous mouse Y, which refer to the mouse's previous position. You'll see how it all makes more sense later. And finally max position, original position, which will be the camera target position, and the value that determines whether the mouse is moving or not. Once that's done, we'll use the run service, creating a function that runs and updates every frame. Here, we're going to get the mouse and the camera's screen size. Now we're going to calculate the remaining screen size relative to the mouse position. All to determine the mouse's distance from the screen origin, that is, the center. Now we're going to set the camera's movement limit. For this, we'll use this mathematical function called clamp. This function returns this value here as long as it falls between this initial value and this final value. If this value doesn't fall within this set, the function returns the limit. So, in our case, the first value is the distance of the mouse from the origin, multiplied by the move factor. This is so the distances measured in pixels are converted into studs. And the limits are the maximum positions in both directions. Now, we'll continue by evaluating whether the mouse has moved. If so, we'll set the target position to a new position. Otherwise, the mouse hasn't moved since the previous frame. Finally, we're going to move our camera part to the target position and move the current camera to the camera part's position. And don't forget to update the previous mouse position. It seems like it doesn't work. Okay, all of this here goes outside the conditional. It should stay like this. Now it really works. And with the menu UI, it looks like this. If we want to exit the menu when we press play, we'll create a value indicating that the menu camera is currently active. And then a function to reset the camera. Here we're just going to change the camera type to custom, and make the humanoid the new camera subject. Then we'll create a bindable event to connect the two local scripts. In the other script, we will add a name parameter to this function, which will identify the button that we're pressing. If it's the play button, we'll disable the menu UI and fire the bindable event. Finally, the other local script will receive it and execute the function to reset the camera. As an added bonus, I'm going to create a black screen and connect it to the function, but this isn't necessary. You can do whatever you want in your menu. Well, that's how it turned out. I really like the camera movement effect. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you thought of the video and support me by liking it and subscribing. It would help me out a lot. Goodbye.